What's up, guys? Today on Robbie's Reviews, we have the 2019 Rolls-Royce Cullinan. Huge thanks to HGreg LUX in Pompano Beach, Florida for allowing me to take this very exclusive vehicle out to give it a review and get it out on the road and see what it's all about. Let's go check it out. All right, here it is, the 2019 Rolls-Royce Cullinan, finished in this gorgeous metallic black here. And this is actually called the Lunar Eclipse Edition, special build. And I really don't know what goes with it. I'm assuming the black and white interior, possibly the paint and the mirror chrome wheels. It also has the crazy glass partition with the curtains option that everybody's been talking about, along with the, it doesn't have it, but the other option people are talking about is the picnic seats or the picnic benches that spin around in the back when you open the liftgate. And once again, I want to thank HGreg LUX in Pompano Beach, because there's not many dealerships that are, even Rolls-Royce dealerships that have these, and the fact that they got one is really astounding, especially this special edition. So this is a 5,800 pound vehicle that's powered by a 6.75 liter or 6 3/4 liter twin turbocharged V12, produces 563 horsepower and 627 pound-feet of torque. Now we'll get a look at that giant engine in a second, but for now let's just take this thing in. It is, without a doubt, a Rolls-Royce. You have that classic grille with the vertical slats, very large front radiator grille, the very dominating headlights, all the chrome bright work. And for those of you wondering, no, it is not a BMW X7 in drag, doesn't have an X7 chassis. It actually has Rolls-Royce's own architecture of luxury modular design. It's their own chassis that they designed that was actually first introduced on the Phantom 8, and this is the sister car. Has its own complete custom aluminum space frame chassis, and it definitely shows when you're driving it. Now the 5,800 pound curb weight starts to make sense when you walk around this vehicle. It is massive. It is essentially a tank. I love the way that the rear windshield tapers off down here into a little boot lid. Then you have the liftgate, and here you've got these 22-inch black mirror chrome wheels all around, and of course the Rolls-Royce center cap that stays upright no matter what speed you're going. And this metallic pearly paint looks great in the sun. And you've got the chrome Spirit of Ecstasy that you can raise or lower with the press of a button. And being this is a completely new vehicle, there's really nothing that's been recycled. I mean, other than maybe the mirrors. It's a similar design to the Phantom. It's probably right off the Phantom, but it's still very much its own vehicle. You've got these crazy LED headlights that we'll turn on in a second. There are all kinds of motors and actuators in there. You've got the Rolls-Royce logo on the side. You've got cameras everywhere. Of course, this vehicle has the latest in autonomous safety assistance systems. So right on the Rolls-Royce badge, you have the front camera, and up in the windshield you have the two stereoscopic cameras for the self-driving. Have a large heads-up display. Side camera here. Walk into the back. Got wrap-around parking sensors, as well as a reverse camera. And actually the front and rear cameras on this car, they swivel when you turn the steering wheel to widen your field of view. So walking down the side, it very much looks like an SUV. It is not a crossover, and it's not a coupe. It's 100% SUV shape. It's much lower, especially its lowered mode, which is currently in thanks to that air suspension, fully active air suspension, and it rides amazingly. Actually, it's called Rolls-Royce's Magic Carpet Ride. All right, now let's get a look at those headlights as well as the taillights, and I'll put the hazards on too. It says welcome to Cullinan when you start it up. We'll do the ignition, turn on the headlights, and we'll do the hazard lights right here. All right. And of course, with the Cullinan, you don't ever have to close the door. You just press down on the touch sensor there, and it closes itself, and it does that for the back doors as well. Alright, so we got these gorgeous full LED self-contained units. Very similar to the Phantom that I just reviewed. The headlights have like this hidden amber front turn signal. It really disappears when it stops lighting up. There's no switchbacks, it's just a standard amber turn signal. And then the active LED parts, the little LED projectors. And you have a white LED DRL going around the top and the side. You've got an LED side marker under the Rolls-Royce badge on the fender. Red side markers back here. And not sure if they have amber turn signals over in the United Kingdom. But here we've got full LED taillights, LED turn signal there, and the reverse light, which is a little strip that's on the bottom. And it looks good. Alright, now let's turn off the lights. Get a look at that engine. So we're going to take it out of ignition. Turn the hazards off. And the hood latch is way under here. It makes just as loud a sound as it closes when it opens. Alright, so let's see. Oh, actually it might be 2 pulls. Let me try again. That it definitely gets from BMW. Let's try. Okay. See if that worked. Yep, 2 pulls. You got the 2 latches up there. That's straight from BMW. Kind of helps stabilize it under high speed if you're planning on doing any high speed runs in this car. There you got the 6 3/4 liter twin turbo V12. It actually sits pretty far back. Let me see here. Most of the engine is sitting behind the front axle. This is technically mid-engine. So it's a mid-engine V12 SUV if you want to get super technical. So the hood opens very short, so that way the Spirit of Ecstasy stays here all the time. You got the strut bar here, all the aluminum reinforcements, lots of plumbing for the AC, the air suspension right here. Here's the struts. Lots and lots of expensive things that I hope never breaks. But to close it, it doesn't close by itself, and you got to reach way up there. And it makes quite a thud when it closes. Alright, now before we step inside into that air conditioning, let's check out the back first. There you go. Big lift gate opens all the way up. And then you've got this little park bench thing here. With that, similar to Range Rovers and lots of other vehicles. And, oh, it's actually very thick carpet for rear trunk. But lots of storage space. Maybe a little less because it has that glass partition there and the seats do not fold down. But, so you've got the speakers there. There's one giant speaker back there. There is honestly plenty of space. Fit some golf bags or luggage for a family of 4. And to close it, you just hit the button right here. And that closes automatically, similar to in a lot of Range Rovers. And then the lift gate. And that's it. Alright, let's step inside and check out the interior. Okay, so similar to in basically every modern Rolls-Royce, instead of reaching all the way out there to close the door, it's actually very heavy. The door itself weighs as much as probably as a Miata. You actually have the buttons here, similar to the new Phantom I was just in. So you have the driver door here and passenger door. So we'll hold this button. That's the driver door. Now we're going to start it up. Similar to a Porsche, which is pretty fun. You get the start button over here. Put on the brake. You've got that nice little welcome tune. Turn off the radio. So first thing I want to do is definitely get on the 8C seats. That's probably an option. As with these cars, as bespoke as you can make them, they're really all about options. So what would normally be called the gallery here on the Phantom, you have this like alligator skin looking leather, which I'm sure is a standard, and it's probably a part of this Lunar Eclipse collection or edition, whatever it's called. And you've got this nice wood here. It's like a black, not satin, but semi-open pore wood on the steering wheel. And of course a very thin rimmed leather wrapped steering wheel. Have all your adaptive cruise control settings here. Volume, telephone, voice controls. Everything that you touch in here, I mean, kind of goes without saying, but everything in here is either wood, metal, or leather. You're not going to touch any plastic. I mean, even if there is plastic in here, it's nowhere you're going to see it, and it's nowhere you're going to touch. So you got the metal buttons and controls over here for the mirrors and the windows, and the shades here. So it opens both sides. That is pretty cool. Now I'm not going to go too in depth with this because, as with my Phantom 8 review, this is basically identical. So you have the physical metal bezels here for the digital gauge cluster. It's a classic Rolls-Royce look, yet it's digital. So you have the power reserve here, which I love. So when you're driving, the power reserve percentage, it would actually go down depending on your throttle position. So full throttle, you got 0 power reserve left. Half throttle, obviously 50%, and you get the point. Digital speedometer, speed limit, all your gauges, park, reverse, neutral, drive, temperature, time, all your lighting controls over here. As you can see, the AC vents, those metal vents are wet. They're ice cold. The AC works very well in this car. And you have the organ stops to close the vents. And here you have the main infotainment screen, which is, yes, BMW iDrive, but it works. And Rolls-Royce technology in the past, as far as infotainment goes, has been pretty horrible. So they can borrow their technology from BMW, make a nice partnership out of it. Why not? So you have the Spirit of Ecstasy there. All your controls for your air suspension, and I can actually lower it there. Parking sensors, cameras, which are already on. So you got the cameras there. Very similar to the Phantom. You can look all the way around the vehicle. Just like in the BMW 7 Series and the new M5 and so on. And that same nice wood continues down here to a quite large center console. You got another little storage thing over here. Actually, this will be perfect for a phone. Closes. You have off-road mode, hill descent assist, all your options, media, navigation. The AC controls are pretty standard. It hasn't really changed much in Rolls-Royces in the past 15 years or so. Just like in the Ghost, the Wraith, the Dawn, the Phantom. You got the clock here with the name of the vehicle, Cullinan. Let's check out the glove box. It's actually pretty big, pretty deep. You expect from a big vehicle. Fully leather wrapped. Metal here, metal handle. Now the seats, the whole interior is really part of the Lunar Eclipse collection. It's a special build, so we're bespoke. So you have this black and white contrast leather, full leather seats with the perforation for the ventilation. Actually, this isn't leather. This is like a fabric. That's why it probably feels so comfortable. It's nice and malleable. You've got the full leather on the armrests. Everything's two-tone. You have the Rolls-Royce audio system. These are the door pulls, because there's no other way to close the door unless you do the button up here. And you have all the ambient lighting, which you can't see right now, but we'll put on the dome lighting here. It's very, very bright, nice and LED. You got reading lights. And you can actually light up just the front part, which is pretty cool. You got reading lights. You got the reading light over there, over here. And you got the big glass panoramic roof. It goes all the way back right there, and then you can close it. And if you want it to be really dark, get that big shade coming across. And if you're sitting in back, it is really dark, especially with that curtain. Alright, we'll open it for now. And we'll open those curtains. And just like in the Phantom, this doesn't have the Starlight headliner, but you do have this nice full leather wrapped like design here with the leather grab handles. Bluetooth speaker up here. Nice frameless mirror. Now before we take it out on the road and see what it's like to drive, let's get in the back of the Cullinan. Alright, so I'll never get tired of this. Alright. You know what? Let's go to the passenger seat, because usually that's the best seat in the house. Close that. Make our way around the Cullinan. Okay. Alright. This would be like the captain's chair. So, we got the button over here to close the door. There we go. And right away it gets so incredibly quiet in here. And you got that glass partition, which just makes it even quieter. You're not going to hear a thing. Alright, so back here we have fully adjustable rear seats. You recline, extend everything. You got these nice Rolls-Royce pillows, which are extremely soft and comfortable. And got all the seat controls. You can see here. We have the another knob for the Spirit of Ecstasy, or basically the Rolls-Royce iDrive, if you want to call it that. You can control each screen. And what I love about Rolls-Royce is the elegant way that they hide their rear entertainment screens. They're not like iPads that are stuck or magnetized to the back of a seat where people can steal them, where they look very unsightly. You simply press the power button down here. An aircraft-style tray table pops out. The screen comes out at a perfect viewing angle. And I don't think it is touchscreen. It actually is touchscreen. Wow, that is nice. And to make it a little bit nicer back here, let's see. Close my curtain. Now this one, I guess Rolls-Royce got a little bit lazy. They made this one manual, so I got to close my own curtain. That's fine. And now we're going to close that one. I don't think we can close the sunroof. Doesn't look like it. So now we're controlling the right screen. When I turned it on, this one popped up. So basically whatever you want. Let's see. Let's go to the menu. Everything that you can control up there, you can control back here. Alright, so we got some Sirius. Let's put it to another channel. Alright, so when you're done with the music and everything, just turn it off. Hit that to make the screen go away. And then hit the other side here. And the tray table goes back up. And it's the same thing for the other side, so you can just have it come out. The screen pops out. You can hit that. There we go. Guess they made it so it's on the opposite side of both seats. And that's pretty much it. The back of the Cullinan is very nice. Looks like it doesn't have the optional rear cooled seats, but that's fine. It's got the dual zone AC in the back. Okay, let's see what we got in the center console. Wow. So you got, what do we got back here? Some caps. A Rolls-Royce flask that I'm going to put down very carefully. 2 Rolls-Royce crystal glasses with the logo emblazoned down there. And the fridge is on. And of course we have 2 champagne flutes. No champagne though. It's good for one pretty good sized bottle, and there's mirrors so the champagne bottle can see itself. See how they open here. Do they just pop out? Oh, okay, here we go. And I'm guessing no cup holders there. Ah, of course, slides in there. That is very, very nice, and we're going to put it back and not touch it again. Oh, one thing I want to show you guys, with that glass partition back there, if I open the lift gate, I still can't hear a thing in here. It is so quiet. That's like bulletproof glass. Wow. What an incredible vehicle. Oh, so limo tint is nice and all, but how about blackout curtains? Close the curtain. Close the door here. There it goes. And there you have it. Instant limo tint. Cannot see a thing. Being a new vehicle, there's no tint on the front windows. Just open that again. And because of that glass partition, you really can't have a curtain over it because of visibility for the driver. But with the sunshade closed on the roof, it gets very dark back here. You got more lighting controls. So the official name is the Lunar Eclipse Collection Special Build. So I don't know, someone spec'd it out originally. This is a really amazing interior. Alright, so now let's go get it out on the road and see what it's like to drive. was weird. All right, taking the 2019 Rolls-Royce Cullinan out. It just rained a lot here in sunny South Florida, but luckily we've got all-wheel drive and that magic carpet air suspension. And even with the rain, it's still raining a little bit, I can't hear a thing. The loudest thing in here is the air conditioning and the cooled seat. There's a Aston Martin DB11 Volante and an S63 drive-by. I think they're HGreg LUX cars. Alright, so thanks to that 6 3/4 liter V12, there is lots and lots of power. Endless amounts of torque, every gear. It's an 8-speed torque converter. I think it's a ZF 8-speed. Now there's no real sport mode or anything like that, but honestly the way that it goes into corners is effortless. There's no body roll. I don't know how it does it. It weighs nearly 6,000 pounds, but it just glides. And that thin rim steering wheel feels great. Full leather. The heads-up display is very visible. The seats are very comfortable. They have massage functions, of course. All the latest technology, safety tech, the blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, frontal collision warning, side traffic alert, everything. It's just, it really is effortless. And I know what you're paying for this is something you could also pay for a house, pretty good sized house to be honest, but that's really not the point. Rolls-Royce's goal with this SUV was to deliver a family car with all the practicality that you would need. Now the turning radius really isn't that good, and the same U-turn I've made with several other cars that have a pretty bad turning radius as well, but this one really doesn't have a good turning radius. But we won't knock it off points for that. It's still the way that it goes into corners. Thanks to that Rolls-Royce Magic Carpet air suspension, it soaks everything up. I have this air suspension in the lowest setting, and I can't feel any of the bumps in the road, any of the little divots. But the way that the suspension undulates, it's effortless. That's really a word commonly used in association with Rolls-Royces, I guess, effortless. Effortless luxury. It's not a performance car. It's not slow. It can get out of its own way on the highway, you know, entering a highway, whatever. But that's not what it's about. It's just about going slow, relaxing, having a good time, and experiencing what makes a Rolls-Royce a Rolls-Royce. Alright, even out here on the wet roads, it's a miserable day, but somehow everything is made better because we're in the Cullinan. Just the whole experience of it really is, I don't know why I keep saying effortless, but everything from the steering, how light it is, the air suspension, it works. Everything works. We'll step on it here. And it's got 600 plus pound-feet of torque. It's no slouch, and in the rain, I mean, it carries its weight very nicely. It's got giant brakes. So we'll go through the turns here. Just gonna take it easy. It doesn't wallow or move side to side. There's honestly no detectable body roll. The seats don't have any kind of active bolstering like in the S-Class or a lot of Mercedes now, but it doesn't need it. It honestly just glides into corners. Thanks to that satellite guided transmission, it's actually using satellite map right now to look at turns and upcoming, you know, hills or anything like that, and it'll always have the right gear. It'll always be ready, even before we are. So you got all the lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control. Alright, looks like the weather's starting to clear up a little bit. I just can't get over how good the ride quality is. And after riding in the new Phantom 8, it really feels the same, just in SUV form. Really can't beat it. Bentleys might be more sporty, and they do ride very nice. You know, they're not cheap cars, they're very expensive luxury cars. They have the latest in air suspension technology. But what Rolls-Royce does with this new modular chassis, which I'm sure is going to come in future cars, not just the Phantom and the Cullinan, it really works. And I'm honestly blown away. Alright guys, well that should do it for this review of the 2019 Rolls-Royce Cullinan. See you next time.